Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first dive into the lore of the colliding worlds. To start things off, we shall be looking into the history of the Bonewind tribe, linked to the faction page in the description below. They started out like any other group of early humans, as simple hunters and gatherers living off the savage wilderness they called home. In the summer months, the land is often plagued by dense cloud cover and thick fog, made up for with warm and gentle breezes. In the winter, the ground is covered in a thick layer of snow. The fog dissipates during these months, but the cold temperatures make travel treacherous. Many forms of beasts populate these lands, ranging from the small and timid rodents to vicious bears. But all were hunted by the Bonewind. It was a simple existence, but it was their way of life. That is, until the rifts manifested. They attracted the tribe's curiosity, causing them to explore and discover what lay beyond. Years later, one of their own began to challenge the old ways. A shaman who spoke of a coming deity, the icon of perfection. She spoke of how the icon came to her in a vision and granted her great power over magic. She told the people of her tribe of the icon's coming arrival and how they must prepare sacrifices for that blessed day. For if they remain diligent, the icon shall bless them and turn them into great warriors to wage war in realms beyond their wildest dreams. Her words resonated throughout the members of the tribe, with many declaring their support and belief in her proclamation. But not everyone accepted her words. Just as many were left stunned by the words she just spoke. The chieftain most of all. For how could she speak of such nonsense, especially when the tribe's rivals and enemies were slowly but surely closing in on them? He quickly made his displeasure known, demanding she disavow her blasphemy. But the shaman would not do so, and insults began to be exchanged. Blasphemer, ignorant fool, petulant child, coward. Words quickly turned into war, as the Bonewind tribe began to tear itself apart. The ensuing civil war would not remain unnoticed for long. Many rival tribes locked in war with the Bonewind took advantage of the sudden infighting to press their own advantages and push deeper into Bonewind territory. This would force them to stretch their warriors' numbers even further as the fighting raged for 5 years. Eventually, the fighting would come to surround the rift where it all began, and on the 5th day of the battle, it emerged, the icon of perfection. A being of slender proportions, yet emanating the power and wisdom of 1,000 worlds. Those few that continued to defy its will were brought low by its heavenly gaze, while the rest followed the chieftain's example in begging for forgiveness. With the civil war now resolved, the icon declared the shaman to be its voice, utilizing her wisdom in tandem with the chieftain's intellect to lead the tribe in its march to war. Over the many years since then, they have encountered and fought a vast assortment of different enemies, most infamous of all, the cult of the cat god. Leading the charge are the vast hordes of bone beast, skeletal creatures summoned by the shaman to support the ranks of Bonewind warriors, beastmasters, and war masters. Though the bone beasts are an integral part of their war effort, the tribe's ranks are also supplemented by their flesh-bound kin, from the mighty Ursus to the small but nimble jackdaw. These animals are led by the beast tamers, Members of the tribe whose bodies have undergone horrible physical mutations inflicted by their overwhelming use of magic. But despite these afflictions, they have maintained their intelligence and sanity, much like their fellow tribesmen. Though the tribe has persevered through all the hardships thrown at them so far, the volatile times in which they now live have left some in uncertainty. The cult of the cat god has been continuously invading their lands, as other, more sinister forces set their sights on them. Perhaps their death is closer than they believe. And that concludes our first dive into the lore of the colliding worlds. Shout out to Kolokai for his contribution to the video. Feel free to join the If Worlds Collide Discord. Links to everything in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.